Welcome everyone to our second episode in this Text and Story series for Black History Month. I'm Gale, Minister at Zion Baptist Church in Cambridge, and the second figure that we're looking at today is Nannie Helen Burroughs. Nannie Helen Burroughs was born in 1879 in a racially segregated Virginia, USA. She moved to Washington, D.C. in the early 1880s. As a teenager, she found or helped to found the National Association of Coloured Women to give them the strength of working together to progress in life. She also began to edit a Christian newspaper called the Christian Banner. She shot to national fame through a stirring speech, How the Sisters Are Hindered from Helping, at the Convention of National Baptists for African Americans in Richmond, Virginia in 1900. This is a quote from her speech. "We come not to usurp thrones nor to sow discord, but to so organise and systemize the work that each church may help through a woman's missionary society and not be made poorer thereby. It is for the utilisation of talent and the stimulation to Christian activity in our Baptist churches that prompt us to service. We realise that to allow these gems to lie unpolished longer means a loss to the denomination." That speech was instrumental in establishing the Women's Convention auxiliary to the National Baptist Convention, which she led. The group helped thousands of black women serve their local communities, and in some cases they served overseas too. Her national fame led to international fame when in 1905 she was invited to be the final keynote speaker at the very first Baptist World Alliance Congress, which was held in London, England. That entailed her speaking to an estimated 10,000 plus people in Hyde Park on the theme of the triumph of truth. She is said to have gone down very well with the gathered crowd. In 1909, she founded the National Training School for Women and Girls in Washington, D.C. She saw the education and training the school offered black women and girls as being key to removing the hindrances they faced in fulfilling their potential. She broke barriers by offering black women and girls training not just in domestic science and secretarial skills, but also in areas usually reserved for men: shoe repairing, gardening, and men's hairdressing, to name a few. The students at the school were also required to study African American history and culture in her desire to ensure they were proud to be black women. She was living at a time when black people were just beginning to create wealth after years of being enslaved. Her passion was to ensure black people made the most of their opportunities, including creating businesses that appealed to black communities as well as white communities and brought value to all of those communities. She went on to be appointed by President Hoover as chairwoman of the White House Program for Home Building and Ownership. Nannie Helen Burroughs died in 1961. And in 1975, the mayor in Washington, D.C. declared the 10th of May to be Nannie Helen Burroughs Day. What do we learn from Nannie Helen Burroughs' story as we think about life today? Well, there's been quite a lot of emphasis on things like the Black Pound Day here in Britain, so the first Saturday in every month being dedicated to buying things from black-owned businesses to try and generate more wealth in black communities. How might we be inspired by Nannie Helen Burroughs to increase wealth in black communities and counter the pay gap even between white and black people in Britain that has had much recent attention in our media? I hope these small insights into the life of Nannie Helen Burroughs have been helpful and that it will inspire you. Next week, we move on to our third episode in this series, where we look at the life of Sam Sharpe.